Alrighty, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. Trying to get us a good view of this, so I apologize for this being messy. A lot has been going on, and I haven't done my usual little wipe downs of my stations. But as I shared in some of the groups on Facebook, I actually had a squash plant here that I intended to take outside and transition into my garden, but time and life got away from me, and it has actually grown in this little sprout. And as you can see here, trying to adjust the light so it's not as harsh of a glare, as you can see here, it actually bloomed today. So what I will be doing is going outside and grabbing some of my male flowers that have bloomed on my outdoor squash and trying to pollinate this and just seeing what we can do. Because as you might notice on here, there aren't any male blooms on here, and I'm honestly shocked that this female one bloomed. But part of the challenge that I was dealing with outside is that my squash just weren't performing well. So when I saw that this was growing up and actually doing pretty well in the AeroGarden, I figured, why not? Just as an experiment, let's see what it will do. So this is what's going on in my AeroGarden here. In this back corner, I actually have a small pineapple plant that's growing, and there's also one in this middle between the two AeroGardens. And in the center of this harvest to our left is actually a cucumber that started out in the sprout as well. It had gotten larger, and I did move it in time to give the other plants more space. But as you may notice, let's see if I can get a shot behind. Sorry about the light. It is starting to vine up and behind this sprout. So all of these leaves going from here on back, these darker leaves going on back, those are that Market More cucumber. So I will have to transition that outside. Well, I go back and forth. I may transition it outside. I may see what it does inside, because I have a few cucumbers that are already growing outside. So at this point, it's an experiment. We'll see what happens. I do still have a little bit more height. I think that I can raise these harvests to. I believe they only go up 12 inches. I may be able to maneuver or configure some kind of trellis system. I've seen folks do that as well. So being in the AeroGarden groups on Facebook has been really awesome and giving me a lot of ideas. And again, I apologize for the glare and the lighting. But hey, it's going to be an interesting day, and I need to add water to this AeroGarden as it's telling us there. But I will report back and post either an update here on my Facebook page or even to the blog what happens with this squash. And I do believe that this is a yellow crookneck squash. So I'm going to go over, do a quick pause, and give you an update of the petunias because they are still growing pretty awesome. So here are the petunias, and they have now been planted for going on 51 days. I still have them set up with the water reservoir, so that's been giving them more regular water. I've been refilling that. I think I've refilled it about 3 times since they have been planted these 51 days. And it's done great with self-watering. I've raised the hood a couple of times, but as you can see, these blooms are just beautiful. And I think of the 6 spaces that are in this harvest, there is a pineapple plant back here that is managing to still hold its own and keep some space. And I'm going to have to move that out. But I do have 2 other AeroGardens set up in my office to do that with. There are actually only 4 petunia pods right now that are growing. So there's one in the middle where I started germinating another pod after these had already set up all their greenery. So I'm going to move that one around, probably move it to that back side so that it can get more light. But I'm hopeful that it's germinated properly since it's had a lot of darkness with all these growing around it. So yeah, if there's 6 spaces in here, one has a pineapple, one has a new starter pod, and so this is only 4 petunia pods that are growing and giving us all of this thriving, luscious growth here. So it's, again, beautiful. I've enjoyed seeing it every day. It's been a bright spot to my morning, and so I've kept these inside and I have not transitioned them outside. I even send my mom and my sister pictures as a part of the little morning updates that I give to them with my little one. So I hope this is helpful to you, and at least the update to show you that there's a lot of things you can grow in these AeroGardens. And if you've had any trouble with the flowers or any of yours, definitely follow up with them in their grow guarantee and get those replaced or refunded. I have to do that myself with some that I've had. Some of my coleus have not been as good with germinating, and I'm going to be following up with them too to get those replaced. But if you have any tips of growing these, even harvesting the seeds from these petunias, I'm going to be doing that next, and I haven't done that with an indoor plant. Feel free to leave them in the comments if you want to continue to get these updates of my growth in my AeroGardens, especially when I'm expanding my collection with those in my home office. Please do like and subscribe, and sign up for the little ring notification so that you'll know the next time I post a video update. Thanks for watching.